interrupt us and sing the Battle Source thing.
Oh, please do. Actually, can you do the voice? Because I was at the panel and I.
Which voice?
Well, how about the narration of the back and the thing of yonder?
I don't have it memorized. But, what was that? What was the first from that? So I could do my standard.
Do the Clara.
Why have we breached the gates of our city?
Excellent.
I think we can all die.
And scene.
There you go.
So how was it to play in the Toy Story sandpit, so to speak? Getting to go into that particular story world and play with those characters.
Yeah, for me it was totally new territory because I hadn't done anything. I'd been at the studio for about 12 years and I hadn't ever delved into the Toy Story world somehow. And so for me it was an education. I would lean on the people around me that knew the characters better. Like, is this the kind of thing Woody or Buzz would say?
Right.
Just looking for their voices as I was writing and as we were creating the reels. I would rely on people who were much more familiar with them than I was, but it felt like we got to a good place with that.
I've been at Pixar for 24 years, so I worked on the original Toy Story. So for me, I worked on Toy Story and Toy Story 2 and some of the shorts.
Right.
Toy Story Terror and now this. So they're kind of like my siblings almost.
Right. It's second nature.
I don't always say children, it's just
What's it like expanding that universe, especially being there from day one? What is it like just to see it grow like this?
It's a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun. It's really, especially when you look and you see how people are attached to the Toy Story world. It's really fun when you're creating a new character that you don't know. Maybe this one will be, part of the legacy, and people will think of will they think of Reptilus as the Toy Story toy? Like you created a Toy Story toy. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, if I was thinking about it that way, it would have driven me crazy, and I probably would have worried about it too much. So fortunately, I wasn't thinking as deeply as that. It's like, oh boy, let's create a fun gladiator guy, and it's like.
The response to the kitty, what's the name of the kitty
Angel
character?
Kitty.
Angel. The response at the panel to that character, everyone's just like, "Oh my god, so cute!" Like,
So crazy.
yeah.
Well, part of that is keeping the Christmas element alive, even when we're in Battlesaur's world, because Battlesaur's is so not Christmas.
Yes.
And so having this little character along the way, and everything she says is sort of a little wiser than the age of the voice.
Right.
She's played by a 5-year-old girl, and so it's just so charming to hear her speaking these words in this little innocent voice. So our goal was to keep her as innocent and as we tried not to give her too much personality, just enough to have you drawn into her.
Right. Yeah.
What inspired you to create the character?
Of Angel Kitty?
Yeah.
She originally she had one line. At one point we had a tub of toys that were being put away, like Christmas ornaments and stuff, and they were unhappy to be put away for the season.
Yeah.
And she was the only one that's kind of resigned to it, and we should be grateful for what we have. Like she just had this resigned and kind of accepting attitude, and there was something charming about that.
Yeah.
And when we had the chance to add a character that would represent Christmas, we decided let's just bring her on the trip with us and let her sort of be around, and we wanted to make sure we didn't overuse her, so she's peppered in just where we felt we needed her.
Right. Well, that's how pop characters are born. Just if you like iconic moments.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I guarantee there'll be tattoos of that character here next year. Like there will be people dressed as that character here next year, guaranteed.
Either of those things would
That's
delight me.
awesome.
Yeah. And how about Tim and Tom, getting them back on board? Are they sort of like so enamored with the Toy Story world? They're like, do they call you up and say, when are we doing another Toy Story thing? Like, what's are they? How do they feel?
That. They're both pretty busy.
Sure.
But they are always just a total joy to work with, and they know these characters so well that they bring a lot more to the table. They'll read something and say, I think Woody would might say this here, and so they just bring a whole lot of history and knowledge to the table. It's a joy.
That's cool.
Yeah, for me it was just a fantastic opportunity to work with those guys, like having Tom Hanks in the room, and Tim Allen was great because he was giving us some great ad-libs that we were able to use in Buzz's character for the piece.
Right.
Did they work together in the sound booth on this, or did they work together?
On this, no.
It's pretty
Everybody
rare
was.
to get the characters together.
The only duo that we had working together were Kristen.
And how was that?
It's fantastic. It was getting to hear, because they have a connection in the show, so getting to have them in the room together and read their lines off of each other was really sweet to hear the connection happening, and that was informative to us as we were creating those scenes.
Does John Ratzenberger have a couple lines?
He doesn't. We sort of had a lesser cast. We have less characters in it because we didn't want to have to manage too many characters, and so we chose Mr. Potato Head for our Serbic character this time. So it was great to have, get in the room with him.
What do you think will delight fans the most with this new short? It's not short, is it?
That's what we call it.
Special.
Special.
It's special.
Well, we're going to a totally different world than they've seen before. We're totally immersing the audience in this unknown world, and in the storytelling and the staging and the camera work, we're trying to totally convince our audience that we're in a science fiction landscape. So these play sets become like real kind of iconic structures in a landscape with atmosphere and lighting, and we push the windows back so you don't even see where the light's coming in the windows, and the wall of the room becomes the sky. So the deeper Trixie is getting all her wish fulfillment, the more we're immersing in the storytelling language.
And you have a little bit of dinosaur romance. I think we're like a really
That's got to be a first for anything. Well, at least that I know of. The dinosaur romance. It looks great, guys. It looks really cool.
Well, thanks so much.
I look forward to seeing the whole thing.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.